Good morning. Today I'm here with Evert Trollip, who used to be one of my students at Stellenbosch University. Good morning, Evert.
Good morning.
Evert, you are now with a software team in Hamburg, and I have to just start with this. You're one of my favorite stories I tell engineering students who start with computer programming. I remember vividly you coming to me after one of the first computer programming lectures saying, I've never programmed before. What on earth? How am I supposed to do this? And yet today you are a software programmer. In fact, you are a senior software engineer in Hamburg, Germany. Could you maybe just tell us how that career progressed?
Yeah, it's an amazing story. I really honestly don't know exactly why that happened, but I do remember that day coming to VS and thinking, I've never done programming in my life. How am I going to do this? And but after that day and every day after that, I just remember being so inspired by being able to do something, and something appears in front of me. And and since then I've really realized that my interests lie within software engineering more than hardware engineering.
So Eva, just thinking back to that first year when you had the problems with computer programming, can you remember what the advice was that I gave you?
That is now you're putting me on the spot. The advice you gave me, I can't remember a specific advice. Maybe you can give me a hint.
I'll help you out.
Don't give up.
I told you, and you actually did this. This is what surprised me. I told you go through all the examples in the textbook and do all the computer programming problems, and you will know how to code. And about a few months later, you came back and said, I did every single one of them, and now I can code. So that was brilliant.
That was brilliant. I remember that now. But I remember vividly because I was actually quite stressed for the upcoming tests and exams, and I never thought I would be able to do it. But as soon as I got into those examples and realized I could actually do it, it clicked.
Yeah. I think computer programming is very much like mathematics. You have to do it in order to learn it. That's the only way to do it. You have to struggle through it.
And I've always tried to find ways to teach myself things and to keep up with the trends and the latest technology. And since I started working, it was JavaScript at the time, and it was AngularJS, and since then I've just been involved in the world of web development and moved myself all the way up towards where I am today, which is a senior software engineer at a company where I lead a couple of people and build amazing tools.
Fantastic. Yeah. So Evert, maybe let's take it a step back and tell me, how did you decide to even study engineering? What led you to it?
Yeah, that's also something that there's not a clear answer. I was just not sure at the time. And at the time it was between engineering and actually something totally not even engineering, which was theology actually. And I think it's not that theology wasn't as interesting. It's just I think engineering opened up more doors for myself at the time that I could envision. And so I just decided to go with engineering. And I mean, Stellenbosch University was an amazing place to be. And I was also very fortunate to land up in your class, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. Thanks. Could you also tell me which skills that you acquired as an engineer has helped you most in the last few years in industry?
I think team skills, working with people, I think as a software engineer in the industry that I work in, mostly focused on development and app development, one of the skills that I've been, very appreciative of over the last few months is learning team skills, but also leadership within the team. And I think this has really helped me as well in my career, in the confidence of my career, to be able to work with the team and I think that's one of the biggest skills that I learned over the last couple of months, to be honest.
It's an answer that I get often, actually. Most of the people I've spoken to have said they take all the technical experience integrate that in the decision making and the way they manage things. But then the
Yeah.
core competence that they actually rely on is working in teams and working with people. And I have to
absolutely.
my experience. Could you also then maybe tell me, as you entered into industry, what do you think is the one thing that you wish you knew before you started? You wish somebody told you as you started studying engineering?
Yeah, that is an interesting question. I think if someone told me maybe at the very beginning, it's okay if you don't know everything, take it easy on yourself, that would have been very nice, because when I jumped into Angular and JavaScript, I felt I was way behind and I thought I would never catch up to where I was today, but I realized that this industry is so huge, and not just software engineering as a whole, there's so much in the industry, and nobody knows everything. You can just, be in the moment where you are and absorb it and enjoy it. I mean, and when I was very a fresh junior developer, I didn't enjoy the moment as much because I was too overwhelmed by everything that there was. And I think I wish someone told me to just, calm down and enjoy the moment, more or less.
Okay. Yeah. No, I had the same thing. But it keeps life interesting, right? And that's the way you build
absolutely.
experience. So it's worthwhile. So Evert, I think the last thing I want to ask you is, when you were at school, you chose to do engineering. Do you have any advice for students entering into the degree program, stuff they need to look out for, or stuff that you wish somebody told you at that point?
Yeah, I think I could say your life is not decided yet, just engineering is a huge industry. Engineering is also a very interesting industry, an industry that is always alive. And I don't think you should feel like you have to decide your life right now, but rather enjoy the moment. And during the process, you will find what works for you. You will find something that inspires you. And once you find it, then pursue it. And that's all you have to do.
Fantastic. That's very useful advice. Evert, thank you very much. Thanks for spending time with me this morning. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the best in Hamburg.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.